today, there's a really important need of the ummah. We have to make sure that people love this deen. And they love, and they find this deen beautiful. That when people think of something that they love, they think of Islam. And when they think of something beautiful, they think of the Quran, they think of the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right now, that is not the case. Even for Muslims, when you ask them about the deen, they don't think of something they love. They think of something they're scared of. They think of something that's very harsh. They don't think of the Quran as something they love. They think of the Quran as something that is just telling them that they're really bad and they're probably going to go to hell anyway. That's the attitude people have developed. We've done this to the Book of Allah. The Book of Allah is far more beautiful, and we've done an ugly job of presenting it. We messed up. We messed up, and an entire generation of young people is thinking, you know, when I read the Quran, all I think of is, maybe I'm a munafiq and I'm going to Jahannam. That's it. Subhanallah. This book came to give all of humanity hope, and today Muslims don't even find hope in it. That's a tragedy. That's a serious tragedy. Now this ayah, the Rasul ﷺ was given this mission to cleanse and fix Makkah. Right? يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ وَإِنْ كَانُوا مِنْ قَبْلُ لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Even though they were clearly lost. Clearly lost. In other words, if you and I saw the Quraysh, we would say these people are a lost cause. If these were patients, we would say, you can forget it, this is terminally ill. No hope for these people. Anybody would say these people are hopeless. There is no chance they will get better. And yet Allah sent His messenger to people who the whole world thought they were hopeless. And He turned them around because of this formula. What am I trying to tell you? I don't say about the youth of the ummah today, even if the youth are doing drugs, and they're drinking alcohol, and they're dating, and there are so many converting to Christianity, and there's so many leaving the religion. All of these problems are happening in the Muslim world. But I don't look at the Muslim ummah and say they're hopeless. I don't say that. If Allah can say Quraysh has hope, if Quraysh has hope, and this formula can work with Quraysh, then I believe in this book. I believe this book can transform any society, any community. We just have to believe in the formula. We have to believe in the method. Now Allah says in this beautiful surah, this is the ayah I kept thinking about, wallahi. وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ. Allah says, these are the Quraysh, right? The Quraysh are Arabs. And the people in Medina, the people of Yathrib are also Arabs. And they are the ones that the Prophet is working on, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now in this ayah, Allah says, there are akharina minhum. There are other people other than these people. There are other nations, other races, other ethnicities, other regions of the world, other continents, other countries that are not Arab. Lamma yalhaqu bihim. They have not joined them yet. Allah did not say they have not joined them. He said they have not joined them yet. Yet. The Malays haven't joined the Ummah yet. The Indians haven't joined the Ummah yet. The Africans haven't joined the Ummah yet. The Turks haven't joined the Ummah yet. The Uyghurs haven't joined the Ummah yet. The Europeans haven't joined the Ummah yet. Because the ayat are coming in Medina. None of that has happened yet. We, most of you that are sitting here that are not Arab, are talked about in this ayah. We're talked about in this ayah. وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ. There are other than the Arabs. They haven't joined them yet. When you fly into Malaysia, and I think about the fact, how far away from the Arab land is this place? And its islands that are way out into the sea. And Islam reached over there. Who would think Islam would get all the way into these remote islands and people would be saying, La ilaha illallah. Wallahi, I almost cried. We were in Terengganu. I was in the hotel room. I look in the table next to my bed and there's a copy of the Quran. I live in the United States. Every time you pull out the desk, there's a copy of the Bible. I see a copy of the Quran, I almost start crying, man. وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ. We don't realize you and I are the fulfillment of Allah's promise in this ayah. You and I are saying La ilaha illallah because Allah made that promise to His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you and I are only people of La ilaha illallah for no other reason that somebody before us understood this formula. يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. Somebody who came before us, who understood that when you go to these lands, you will recite the book of Allah, and Allah will purify people who have any goodness in them. Then you can teach them the book and the wisdom, and they will come flock into this deen. They will flock into this deen. And that's us. You know what the tragedy though is? When you join this ummah, you have to repeat. The same way our ancestors came into Islam, my ancestors were Hindus. 3, 4, 5. I asked my grandfather, it's 5 generations of Muslims. My family is Muslim for 5 generations. Before that, they're Hindus. Before there are all kinds of idol worship in my family. Somebody was given da'wah. Some young man who was a Hindu took shahada and decided he will change his life. But he only took shahada because somebody gave him a chance. Somebody spoke to him about Allah's word. Somebody showed him the beauty of Islam. He looked at a Muslim and he saw an honest person. You know, he saw a good, sincere friend who was willing to share the word of Allah with him. This is the month of the Quran. Ramadan is the month of the Quran. The same Quran that made our ancestors say La ilaha illallah. The same Quran, the gift of which you and I, we don't earn La ilaha illallah. We didn't pay for it. It was given to us by Allah Azza wa Jal as a result of this promise. وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ. Are the Muslims the majority of the planet? Are we the majority? No, we're the minority. Muslims are a minority. We're a significant minority, but we're still a minority religion on the planet. We're maybe 1/5 of the world. That means that Allah Azza wa Jal, of the entire population of human beings, decided that He will give you this gift and He will give me this gift. But this gift isn't free. It comes with a responsibility. You don't receive this gift of Allah's book, this final message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this Quran, and you don't even care. There are so many other people that could have been picked. You were picked. You were picked. You know, you didn't deserve it. It was a gift from Allah. Which is why in the next ayah, and I conclude with this ayah, ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. That is the favor of Allah. He gives it to whoever He wants. The La ilaha illallah that I say, that you say, is a gift of Allah. It is a favor of Allah. He gave it to you and me. Wallahu dhul fadl al-azim. And Allah is the possessor of great favor. You know what that means? That Allah's favor did not end with you. Now it's time for you to take Allah's gift and give it to others. Give it to your family. Give it to Muslims and give it to non-Muslims. The Muslims today are far from Quran, we have to bring them back. If you're far from the Quran, you have to make your way back. We have to develop this, and this is the month to do it. If there's one month where you can hit restart, all the mistakes of your past, forget about what happened. Forget about what you did this last year. Forget about what you did your whole life. This is the time to start all over again. It's just me and the word of Allah, because I recognize Allah Azza wa Jal made me among those who the Sahaba made dua for. Who Sahaba made dua for. How do I know that? The Sahaba are listening to these ayat. There are not that many of them. There are not that many of them. And Allah tells them there are other people coming. There are other people that haven't joined you yet. Ya Allah, bring them soon. Ya Allah, protect those people that haven't joined us yet. Subhanallah. The Sahaba are waiting for us. They're waiting for us. Subhanallah. That's this ummah. That is this ummah. So I'm sincerely making dua for myself and for all of you, that this month, this coming month, it's always been a month where I pray. It's always been a month where I recite Quran. But this time, I'm not only going to pray, and I'm not only going to recite the Quran, this month I'm going to try to understand this Quran. I'm going to learn something more about this Quran. I'm going to share what I learned with my family. I'm going to talk to them about this Quran. I'm going to try to develop a new love for this Quran and share that love with my loved ones for this Quran. And Allah will put barakah in all of your efforts because you're doing it in the month of the Quran. In the month of the Quran.